Good afternoon, guys. Wanted to cover a topic that we haven't covered in the past. What happens if you go through the training process and you fail? What happens if you head to conductor training school and you don't pass the exams? You fail the hang test. You don't pass the comprehensive. You miss one too many on the signals exam. What happens? So we've covered all the ways to prepare, but we haven't covered what happens if for some reason you don't make it through. It doesn't happen very often, and there's always going to be a few in every class, but when it comes down to it, some people don't make it. Some people don't pass. So let's start with a couple of things. Start with the hang test. And I want to make this clear. I'm kind of addressing you guys from a different perspective today because I just got off the phone with a gentleman that went through training and he didn't make it through the comprehensive and has severe test anxiety and is super disappointed and I am as well, mainly because I know that he really wanted it, and he's in a really bad place right now because he feels like he's let some people down, and I understand that 100%. I had those same feelings and those same anxieties when I went through that training. First things first, it's not the end of the world. There are plenty of different options and outcomes for a situation like this, and so let's just kind of go over some of those so that you have a better inkling of what to do if for some reason you don't make it through. First and foremost, I had a gentleman that went through training with me and had super bad test anxiety, and prior to Joey Cobb and a few others, Anthony Farrell, there really wasn't much on the internet about this training process or how to prepare yourself for it or how to get through it. And if you guys are watching this, I don't know if you watch these videos at all, but thanks for doing that. That made my process of going through training so much easier because I had a little better understanding of what to look out for. So thank you for that, by the way. That being said, the tools are limited, and when you get down there, test anxiety can get the best of you, and that happened to this guy. So he failed every test, the signals test, the comprehensive. Actually, he kept failing the signals test, so he couldn't even make it on to the comprehensive. So he went back, started packing up his things, and they actually called him and had him come back in on Monday to retake the test with no one there. And he passed, and ended up going on, and he's still a conductor today. So that's possible, depending on how you handled yourself in training. Did you show competencies, or was your hands-on process, acceptable enough for them to realize, hey, we should give this person another shot? So that's a possibility. Outside of that, you can always reapply. You can reapply for NS. You can go back to training school. You might get home, and a few days later, they may call and say, hey, would you like to give it another shot? Do you want to go through training again? And they'll pay you to do that. They'll pay you to come back and go through training again, which is really nice of them to do. They don't have to do that, and they don't always do it. But if they give you that opportunity, it's your decision. But the other thing is you have a base knowledge right now that you didn't have before you went down there. Now, obviously, it wasn't quite everything if you didn't make it through the testing, but you have a way more knowledge than you had when you went down there. So that means you're kind of prepared to be a little bit dangerous. I don't know if you guys have been following the news and things like that, and I don't really touch too much on that, but CSX actually is offering 100% to their new conductors. They're still offering bonuses. Their onboarding process is twice as fast as NS. And I'm not saying this at all in any way to knock NS or to knock any other Class 1, but there are options. And because you never marked up as a conductor, your non-compete does not apply. So you can apply for any of these Class 1 railroads and head directly into their training program. So that's an option for you as well. So if you gotta kind of backpedal here, to be honest, it could be a blessing in disguise. You head over to CSX at this point, so you're not at 75% or 80%. You're at 100% starting out there. You get onto their bonus structure. You head to their training, which is 4 weeks, and it's a little bit more spread out, so that might be a little more your learning speed. So could be a blessing in disguise. The point is, there's options. It's never the end of the road. And outside of that, let's say you go through conductor training and that kind of thing, and you've been in this kind of bubble of conductor training for so long, and you've been on the internet and you're looking through all the negative reviews of what this lifestyle is like, etc., whatever. That doesn't change anything about the railroad itself. The railroad is never going anywhere. Now, there may be changes to certain policies or how things are run, whatever it is, but the railroad itself is never going anywhere. That being said, there's more than just transportation in the railroad. You can get into dispatch, you can get into CNS and signals and be a signal maintainer and have a better schedule. Their training process is a little different, and it's way longer. It's a 52-week program. You head to McDonough 3 times for that. So that's some options that you have when it comes down to that. Now, it pays a little bit less, but the schedule's more predictable and the quality of life is better. So I say all this to say, we can prepare you 100% of the time. You and I can get together, we can talk on the phone, we can talk through Facebook, you can watch these videos. I can send you the training materials, the e-learnings before you even head down to McDonough. And if you guys are getting ready to do that, please send me that message on Facebook. I'll be happy to give you the e-learning so you can get them some little confidence underneath your belt before you even step foot onto the training grounds. Do that. Send me that message. I'll get it out to you. We can prepare you 100% of the time, but there are chances that some people won't make it, but that's okay. There's a bunch of people that make it and they quit in a week. It's better for you to have this additional base of knowledge, and also when you leave this, you're going to have a certain feeling. So if you failed and you have that feeling like the guy I talked to this morning, I let some people down. I didn't make myself proud because I didn't make it through. I tried as hard as I could and it wasn't enough. Kind of beat yourself up, and that's that self-flagellating over and over again. Why are you doing that? Why? The reality is you wanted it. You wanted to be a part of the railroad. You wanted this position. You wanted the future that it provides. You wanted the benefits that this company offers. Now you know you want it. So take the time, gather your feelings, get yourself reset, start sending that resume out again. Hop on with a different railroad. Try a different department. You know where you want to be now. I'm proud of you, whether you made it or not. Take care. Comments down below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Have a good day, guys. See ya.